Hi guys, Dr. Wendy Dearborn here from the Laws of Attraction in Action. Well guys, the bread has actually completed baking. It is totally finished and it's baked. And it's come out really nice. I'm going to show you in just a second. It came out really well. What I didn't actually film was once the bread has risen. I didn't actually film that. And what I elected to do was to take a photograph of the bread, the raw bread, the dough, once it had proofed in the oven baking, when I put it in the oven to bake. So what I will do at some stage is attach that photograph to this video so that you can see it, or video number 2, whichever way around I do it, so that you'll be able to see that. But the bread came out absolutely gorgeous. It looks good. It's hot. It's really hot because literally it's just come out of the oven. It's hot. So one of the things that I would just like to reiterate is just run back through the whole thing. Try not to make your actual dough needs to be sticky. It doesn't need to be kind of wet. Okay. As my sister and myself, we were just actually talking about this, and when the dough is too wet, the bread literally comes out like sponge. It has this different texture, and that doesn't do it for me. When the ratio is right, the bread's sticky. There's even, as you saw, there was still some sort of like dry, there was still sort of like flour in the bowl when I was mixing it. It comes out perfectly. The bread absolutely comes out perfectly when it's like that. And as you've seen from part 2, Mother Nature does what it needs to do. It will rise. It will do what it doesn't even need sugar. I was always under the impression when I was baking bread before that I needed sugar to help the yeast to rise, but you don't. There's enough sugar available, natural sugar occurring in the flour, for it to do its thing. And that's one of the reasons actually why you truthfully need bread flour or strong flour, because of the protein or actually the gluten in it. So that being said, 3 cups of flour, 12 ounces of water, 1/4 teaspoon of yeast, 1 teaspoon and 1/4 to 1 teaspoon and a half of salt. And you need that. If there's no salt in it, it doesn't kind of taste good. Mix it all up. Actually mix the dry ingredients together, put the water in, mix it all up until it's just about mixed. I mean, don't get too fast because it will incorporate. Cover it with cling film, allow it to rest. You have 24 hours from that point to cook your bread. You need at least 8 hours for it to proof and do its thing, but you have 24 hours. Once that 24-hour period has taken place, you can then, on a dusted surface, turn the bread out, do your dough, cut it up, put it onto parchment paper, and allow it to proof. Cover it with a clean tea towel or kitchen towel, and allow it to proof for 2 hours. An hour and a half into that process, what you do is, if you have a pizza stone, you put the pizza stone into the oven, and or, as I said before, your cookie sheet, you invert your cookie sheet, you put it into the oven, and you turn your oven on to 450 degrees, and you allow it to heat up for 30 minutes. 2 hours, the proofing time. You take the parchment paper and you slide everything onto either your pizza stone or your inverted cookie sheet. You allow it to bake for 20 minutes. Slide the parchment paper back onto whatever you used to slide it on. I used another cookie sheet. You slide it off, and then you put the bread onto a cooling rack. And I'm going to show you the bread now. I'm going to taste my bread now. I'm going to have some with, I got some pesto sitting up there in the fridge. I'm going to have some bread and pesto, and I know it's going to be yum. So I'm going to show you the bread now, guys. I'm really happy with how this turned out. I'm just going to flip the camera. Okay, guys. Yay. That's the bread. That's how it turned out. And it looks absolutely delicious. It looks really gorgeous. It looks really gorgeous. I'm really happy with this. And actually, it's still warm, to be honest with you. This is actually warm, but I want you to see what it looks like inside. Hopefully you're getting that, guys. That's what it looks like inside. It comes out really, really gorgeous. Really, really gorgeous. Hopefully, are you getting that? See, this is where you need a cameraman. Yeah, there you go. All right, guys, and that's what it looks like. And so I'm getting ready to have some bread. I'm going to nibble on this bit. I'm going to come back round. Absolutely gorgeous. And as you can see, it's not very labor intensive. It's really not very labor intensive. It's just a case of doing this for you. You know, you can I'm gonna have some bread. It's delicious. Guys, really, you can set this up the night before or the evening before, you know, say you're cooking, and you can see how quick it is to mix it up, and you can have fresh bread all the time. I actually got this recipe from, I believe his name is Steve, Artisan Steve, and this is where I actually got this from. Artisan Steve, found him on YouTube. Absolutely brilliant. The bread's good. It doesn't take long. There's not all this, you know, kneading and beating up of the bread and all this sort of stuff, and you have to be there 24 hours, 2 hours. So that's 26 hours. You've got 26 hours to make your bread. So I'm Dr. Wendy Dearborn. I'm going to go and get myself some pesto. And I'm going to put some pesto on my bread. So outside of that, guys, hope you enjoyed. I'm going to attach the photographs. Until next time, peace.